Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. A very sad occasion. This man, Kofi Annan, really represented Africa on the global stage. Just talk a little bit to us about him and what he meant for this continent.
Yes, good morning. It is indeed a sad week for Africa, a sad day, but a sad week for Africa because it comes immediately after we've been mourning since the beginning of the week. The death of a huge African, Samir Amin, born Egyptian, who passed away in Senegal. Now we lose Kofi Annan, born in Ghana, traversed the whole world and came back to die in his native land, Ghana. He is perhaps the most prominent African in international multilateral systems, having risen through the ranks at the United Nations and got to the pinnacle of it to become the only second African to have headed the organization in its 70 years. The United Nations, that is, after Boutros Ghali, who also passed away about 2 years ago. And he has played a significant role in promoting the ideals for which the United Nations exist, and ideals that are very close to the interests of the global south and of Africa and the poor countries and people on the margins of the world, an organization that's supposed to care when everybody else is going national and protecting national interests in the age when Trump is asking us all to focus on our make America great, which means make Ghana great, make South Africa great, and not make the world great. There were people who fall through the cracks. He worked for an agenda that we dearly miss in this period of greed, of self-centeredness, of myopic leadership, and all of that. Of course, his role after retirement has also been great, chairing the Africa Progress Panel that has done a lot of work to focus our attention, including among policymakers, on things that matter, including fighting climate change, environmental degradation, fighting income poverty and issues of that nature. And of course, as we mentioned, he's also been well known for his leadership of the group of elders that was founded by the late Nelson Mandela, with whom he shares a lot of characteristics, including compassion for the poor, empathy, and deep love for progress, a true internationalist. And we really just have to mourn with his family and the rest of the African family and those who believe in the future of a better world.
Let's then also just talk now about his legacy and what he leaves behind and those that he inspired as well.
Yes, I would mark out three things for me. One is the defense of the United Nations at the time when it was under huge attack on the one side by stubborn problems that are failing, that were not going away, poverty, inequality, underdevelopment, and all of those, that were putting its prestige at stake. But also fighting on the other side the threat of the powerful, the permanent members of the United Security Council, the United States of George Bush, and all of those who sought to undermine the United Nations and impose unilateralism and impose their will on everybody else in the name of championing their civilization against the civilizations that exist in the world. So he stood firm in that. He had the most difficult time, but he really did it immaculately, and he really did it very, very well. Of course, we remember that he is the man behind the UN reform project. He took over from Boutros Ghali, and he took it further. He really defended the United Nations. Secondly, for me, has been the demonstration of the spirit of internationalism as a spirit of taking care of people, of taking up issues that nobody wants to take up, issues that fall through the crack as countries pursue national interest. And the last one for me is that he has demonstrated that a black person can do. He's demonstrated in the world that is enveloped by anti-black racism in very real ways, lack of confidence in black people and in black nations and black civilization. He has really helped, like Obama, like Nelson Mandela, I think, like Mahatma Gandhi and others, have helped to remind the world that skill, excellence can come from anywhere in the world, including in Africa.